They're gonna find so many burritos in my belly. I'm convinced. Although the more that I say that, the more I kind of get a little bit grossed out, just because... I don't know. No. Whatever. We're gonna introduce the GMs now. Here's the deal. For Iron GM, the players were granted 3 GMs they could have chosen from. If they chose the same person, that's who they got. And if they didn't, then they ended up getting the person that neither of them chose. So the GMs they could have chosen from are here. Iron GM, no fun allowed. Mike Uyama. We also had Iron GM, Hot Dog Crimes, Zavane Close, and Iron GM... Wait, where's the text? Me! Iron GM Utah facts are real facts. Well, you know what? We got a lot of fantastic love. I mean, Pika Pals opted for Zavane, and the Time Walker opted for me, which means that out of, I guess, disagreement, and maybe out of hate, Mike Uyama has been chosen as the GM today. Will he unleash all of the possible crimes that can be committed here? Well, we'll find out in a second. Hello, Mike. Mike, are you there? Hey, Mr. Uyama. I'm sure you're trying to talk and I just can't hear you. Let me go ahead and poke you on Discord.
Okay, so every time I enter a Discord call, my computer freezes for like 5 to 10 seconds, and I don't know why. And I get, well, not quite freezes, because I can hear you, but you can't hear me. So there you go.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Well, I got a good kick out of that.
But anyway, I'm here.
Well, good. Mike, I don't know the game that you're giving out. Like, maybe I do vaguely.
I'm actually kind of surprised you don't know the game I'm giving out, because it's a bit notorious, because it is, if I remember correctly, an LJN game. And it's definitely, it's weird because it doesn't look that bad, but it's just ridiculously hard and unforgiving and just lots of bad design.
Yeah, there is the possibility that we gave it out in a previous tournament and I just don't remember.
So funny thing is that we have never actually had a full match of this game in Kuso6rande, which has really shocked me because it's a Super Nintendo and Genesis game. It also has some handheld ports too, but those are the 2 main versions. And it's definitely mean enough to be in Kuso6rande. So we have had it in a gauntlet though. I think it was in a gauntlet last Kuso6rande. And no one was able to beat that stage.
Well, that's pretty exciting. So what do we have?
We have Spider-Man and X-Men in Arcade's Revenge.
Oh, yeah, look at them flying around, and Spider-Man's got a pretty good pose. Like, the cover art's great. That's probably the best thing
the
about
cover
this
art's great because it's just comic book cover art.
Yeah, it's really difficult to go wrong when it's comic book cover art.
Yes, Mebble. I put in the Genesis version because I wanted them to suffer with the bad soundtrack. So, Tim Fallon can actually do Genesis soundtracks very well as
for sure.
Time tracks. He is proven, so he definitely knows how to use the Genesis sound font. But this version was released about a year after the Super Nintendo version, and it was pretty clear they did not hire Tim Fallon to convert any sound fonts or anything. So they just kind of dumped the Super Nintendo sound into the Genesis, and it sounds pretty farty.
Oh, perfect. Well, I like some electro farts. You know, I'm always down for 1 or 2 of them every day. Every day, wake up, eat some electro farts, and good to go.
But yeah, I do actually have some special rules for this match so that it's easier to track and just to make it a better match. I am letting the players use a save state. They may save state after the first stage because honestly, the first stage is pretty boring and it's kind of tedious. And I would rather have the players play through it once and then they can be done with it. So I'm going to let them make a save state on the stage select. That's the only save state they can use. And And this game has no continues. I don't know if players are listening to that, but there's a spoiler for them. They shouldn't be listening to that.
Well, they shouldn't be.
Exactly. But yes, so it's a very unforgiving game. And I also have a specified stage order, so it's easier for us to track. Because otherwise, it would be more difficult to track.
Oh, this is certainly some music.
Yeah, like it's not... Like, there's nothing wrong with the composition of it. It's just everything is wrong with the instruments and the sound of it.
Yeah, it's like they found a couple chainsaws for this game. I'm not saying that's bad, you know. Chainsaws are an instrument, definitely underused. Okay, Spider-Man and the X-Men in Arcade's Revenge. I'm gonna go check in with the players and see if they are ready to roll. The music was done by Sound Images. Well, that's why they think that sound is visible.
You know what? That's interesting, Karaz, because I tested both this version and the Game Gear version, and they're like both bad, but in their own way. But I decided this one in the end because I thought it'd be more fun to watch, and the Game Gear just has less stuff on the screen, even though some of the stages are harder. But some of the stages are also easier, so it like kind of balances out.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, it looks like both of the players are good to go. So, chat, you know the deal. Get all of your superhero emotes that you can, or anything action-worthy. What else would be worthwhile?
Let's see. Swimming emotes, if they make it that far.
Chainsaws.
Their first, chainsaws, farts, because the music, and since the first stage for the character select is gonna be Wolverine, claws and stuff.
Spam everybody, and I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer as soon as I see movement. Sure, Kermit the Frog is a superhero. I'll say that.
Sure, that works.
He's a superhero to me. I mean, I saw him on a Smash Bros. Hack, so. It's probably true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Spider-Man's jump, that is so cute. Like, when he's fallen, he just looks like, I'm gonna land on my butt. Okay, I hate the background.
Yeah, well, fortunately, you don't have to look too much of it, because most of what you're trying to do is outside. So what the first stage is, and why I'm letting the save state after, is all you have to do is to collect the spider traps. You do get spider sense, but it only triggers when you're really, really close to them, so it's honestly pretty useless.
Okay.
And what's most annoying about this stage is that you have to collect the trackers in a certain order.
Oh no, does it make you backtrack?
Yeah. Yes, it makes you backtrack quite a bit.
That's dumb.
Pika Pals has definitely gotten the hang of it, and Time Walker is now just realizing that you have to collect the flashing ones.
Yeah, let me just say, listening to this music, this definitely was not originally made for the Genesis. Like, I'm listening to the snare here. It's just very like... It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, why do you have this really gentle snare drum?
Yeah. Like I said, this is originally a Super Nintendo soundtrack, and this was ported a year after the Super Nintendo version. So,
wow, this is not a good game. I can already tell you that, everybody. This is a bad game. Like, the swinging is terrible. Like, because if you swing and bop something, you just kind of fall.
Yeah, the swinging is so clunky. Yeah, so Spider-Man, who you see in all the comics and the movies, like, he can jump in the air and shoot webs. He can't do that in this game. He has to be on the ground to shoot webs. It still feels kind of fun to do it, but it feels unnecessarily stiff and clunky. And what Pika Pals isn't realizing is that you can hold up or down to like adjust the height of your swing.
Okay.
Which is why he's not making that web swing. I did give the players a manual. There's still some kind of esoteric controls because the Super Nintendo having 6 buttons and Genesis having 3 buttons. They had to make a few changes in the control scheme, so it's a little clunkier.
What, they didn't make the controls for the 6-button Genesis pad that literally, like, maybe 1 or 2 games ever actually took advantage of all 6 buttons.
Yep, that same 6-button controller.
Well, like,
This
seriously,
game
I
did
feel
actually
that-
come out right around the time of the 6-button controller, either like right before or right after it came out. So they could have, but they didn't.
Yeah, I do like how much oomph Spider-Man has in his running animation. He just swings his arms, like, keeps his head perfectly horizontal, you know? That really helps when a spider is tracking down its prey. You know, you want to keep your head stable so that, you know, you don't get confused about where your prey is. You gotta, yeah. So good job,
He
Spider.
also has a nice running animation. He's really working his arms out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Pika Pals is really stuck on this top web swing and just doesn't know that you can hold up or down to just the height. And until he figures that out, he's going to be really stuck.
There we go. Pika Pal's managed to do it once. Hopefully that is enough to learn how to do it for future
Yeah, he
areas.
definitely held up there, so...
Okay, so yeah, so far I can see the web swinging is like most Spider-Man games in that it's pretty bad. There have been a few games that have gotten it right, and definitely the latest Spider-Man games probably have the best web swinging that's ever been around in a Spider-Man game. Like, it's really good.
I know that, like, the Spider-Man 2 from, like, for, like, PS2, Xbox, and GameCube has really good web swinging, and, yeah, I've heard the Marvel Spider-Man games on the PlayStation also have
Yeah, the PS4 version is one that I've played. It's so good. Like, I don't love Spider-Man, but I enjoyed playing that game. It was genuinely enjoyable.
Okay, I think Time Walker is restarting because he might have died, and you really don't want to die when you're going into this before going into stage select.
Why so? Just because you don't have extra lives, and also there are no continues?
There are extra lives, but you'd rather just go in with as many lives as possible.
I mean, that's fair.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. There's a lot of backtracking, and it's not clear where you need to go, because as I said, the spider sense only kicks in when you're really close to the tracker you need to collect.
Yeah. I'd say, honestly, going back, resetting the game is probably easier than actually trying to play the game to get back to where you were before.
Yeah.
It's kind of dumb, but hey, that's the way the Spider-Man swings, you know?
Yep.
It's such a stupid mechanic. If there are collectibles, why not just go and be able to collect all of them?
Hey Liz, it's bracket stages, and I need to be mean. And I had Zavain close test this game, because I wasn't sure if it was mean enough for brackets, and he was like, it is definitely mean enough for brackets. And it's good that you had a prescribed level. All right, so this is where he's allowed to make a save state.
Okay.
Pika Pals. He's on the stage select. He's good to make the save state. Yep, he made the save state. That's good. And I have a specific order that I want players to do the stages in. And that is Wolverine is first, then Spider-Man, then Storm, then Gambit, and then Cyclops. And that's kind of from order from easiest to hardest, in my opinion. You can argue that Storm's is the easiest level, but it has some really dumb gotchas.
Why is there a clown level? Come on, we don't need clowns.
Because arcade. I mean, if you needed more proof that this game was bad, it has a clown level. Alright, Smebble Bear, I want the players to make progress, because Cyclops level was the level we had in the Gauntlet stage, and I have not beaten that level yet. And
wait, you haven't?
Using some save states. Yeah, that's why I gave it to them last. And in the Gauntlet, neither player was able to beat that stage, and they probably worked on it for like 10-15 minutes. It is...
That was a trap state, basically.
Yeah, it was a trap state. And it's just like, you know what? This game is bad enough already. Might as well make sure the players can make some meaningful progress. Smebble Bear, that is true. Wolverine does regenerate very slowly if you sheathe his claws, and those Jack-in-the-Boxes will actually drop parts if you sheathe the claws. The game doesn't really tell you this, so Pika Pals will have to figure that out eventually, because like you're probably thinking to yourself, well, it's Wolverine. You know, he just regenerates anyway, because healing is his power. The claws is, you know, comic lore stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just think he'd heal anyway, and like there's no reason why the Jack-in-the-Boxes would drop parts if your claws are sheathed, but that's just how it works.
Also, I'm trying to check. You said that this was LJN, but I'm showing it was published by Flying Edge.
Flying Edge, so probably the Super Nintendo version of LJN. Flying Edge is a label that Acclaim made so they could publish more games.
Okay.
They can get around publisher limits.
I mean, that's fair enough. Good job, Acclaim. By the way, you know, the company that made this, Software Creations Limited, also made other games like Cutthroat Island. I love that game.
We've also had Kuso6rande.
Yeah, they did one of the versions of Incredible Crash Dummies, Barbie Vacation Adventure. Heck yeah. Blaster Master 2, the best version of Blaster Master.
Oh, that makes sense, Karaz. Yeah, so there's a Wolverine NES game, and if you look at that game and this, they actually look very similar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember. I feel like I've seen the NES Wolverine game, and that, like, it's not good, but it's probably better than this.
Yeah, I think Garby gave it out. It's definitely one of those very, NES hard games.
Yeah, apparently some of the sprites, Wolverine's NES sprite is basically just exactly the same. Maybe a little bit more detailed, but otherwise same shape, same sort of awkwardness when he stands there.
Yeah. And same, like, weirdly smooth animation.
Okay, I have to wonder, because in a lot of X-Men games, they punish you for using Wolverine's claws. Is there any punishment like that in this game, or is it...
like I said, if you don't sheathe your claws when you're hitting the Jack-in-the-Boxes, you don't get the hearts.
Oh.
So there's no real punishment, you just don't get health. Okay, and Time Walker has made it out of Stage 1. So that is the end of Stage 1. And hopefully he makes the save state. Because really... Yep. I don't think we really need to see that stage again. It's kind of boring and tedious, and the whole game is bad and stupid. But like that one's just bad and stupid for not really fun. So I figured, let's make this a more exciting match.
Well, it's
Let
good
them
that
suffer once and then skip it.
Both of the players are on to the Wolverine stage. Pika Pals definitely has the time advantage here due to getting here first. But Time Walker, I don't know. Depending on how Time Walker does, I imagine he could catch up relatively quickly.
So one player mentioned they were shocked that, Pika Pals figured out sheathing and unsheathing the claws really fast. I did give the players the manual. Because they should be able to figure out controls, but it's really unintuitive how sheathing claws works. It's you hold up an A and you'll do an uppercut. And it's just not that intuitive. And it's like, you know what? I want them to be defeated by this game and not by Control Boss. So.
Are you serious? It advertises Bart's Nightmare on the back of the manual.
Bart's Nightmare on the back of the manual.
Okay, that's the better of the two Super Nintendo games that were made here in Utah, but still, it's got problems.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a little bit of lore for everybody here if you want to hear. Mike, you ready for it?
I mean, I'm never ready for it, but I always enjoy it.
Well, all right. From web to web, skyscraper to skyscraper, Spider-Man registered races through the towering canyons of the city. The X-Men trademark, Wolverine trademark, Cyclops trademark, and Storm trademark have all disappeared. And unless Spidey can find Gambit trademark, the Cajun trademark's fate will certainly be the same. That's right, it is trademark apostrophe S. Cajun trademark apostrophe S. Spidey sees Gambit's familiar silhouette below, but in the second he swings down, a giant tube shoots out from the roof of a garbage truck and flang. It swallows the unsuspecting Arcadian. Spidey flashes back through countless life and death perils and flesh-hungry supervillains, back to an absurd assassin called Arcade, trademark, and his deadly amusement park. The wall crawler slings a Spidey tracer onto the truck and pursues his prey into the night, unaware that the hunter is about to become the hunted. Arcade originally created his fun fair to make his $1 million quote-unquote hits more entertaining, but now he's rebuilt it with all new, bigger games, inescapable traps, and deadly rides purely for his own enjoyment. And tonight's very limited run, one-time only showing is the thrilling final destruction of the X-Men trademark and the would-be rescuer, Spider-Man, registered. I don't get it. Why does Spider-Man get registered and X-Men get trademarks?
Maybe they were renewing the trademark for Spider-Man then. I don't know.
Okay.
Because it's pretty obvious they would have had the Spider-Man trademark for a while. It's not like Spider-Man was a new thing even in the 90s.
That's so funny to me. I love it.
So catching up with Chad a bit and what's going on. Pika Pals has made it to the boss, which is Apocalypse, who is much smaller than he normally is in the comics. And Pika Pals got owned. You can't really fight Apocalypse head on. You just kind of need to hit him while he's in the air.
Okay.
And Big Honkin' Burger asked, are there checkpoints? What's a checkpoint?
So you go back to the beginning of the level when you die?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you make it to the boss?
Yep.
But that's not good.
Nope, it's not.
Oh, this is pretty cruel. So how far do you think we'll see the players get in this game?
I think we'll at least see them beat this stage. I think we could maybe see them get up to Storm or Gambit stage. And I really want them to get up to Storm stage because it's very unique. Because they did something very stupid and nonsensical to deal with the fact that Storm is the one X-Men who can fly.
I'm wondering... Time Walker took a little time to type in Discord, LMAO, the level what? And I don't know what happened, but apparently something happened.
I don't know. Maybe it's the bombs. Maybe it's the walls he has to claw through.
Maybe
I honestly think out of the levels,
dumb.
They're all dumb, but I think this level out of all of them is honestly the easiest. Maybe Spider-Man's is a little easier, but I feel like Spider-Man's it's a bit easier to get stuck on because there's a couple of paths that are not really intuitive.
Yeah, for sure. Also, thank you, chat and the mods, for doing the predictions for who will win. It looks like Time Walker is actually at 54% of the guesses here. Pika Pal's 46%. I actually would have sided with Pika Pal's myself for the prediction. Yeah, Pika Pal's is a strong player.
Been a regular contender in the brackets.
Yeah, and like, sure, Time Walker voted for me to be the GM instead of you, Mike, but I don't know. I still got to give my bet over to Pika Pals.
Yeah. No one wants me.
Oh, poor Mike. No, they're probably just like, oh, Mike's so busy. He's got a real job around here, and he's got to do stuff. So we'll go. We'll pick the other people.
But I still like to make time for Kuso6rande.
I'm really glad you do, Mike. Like, seriously, it's always a blast having you here. Even if you always give out a superhero game, like that sort of is your thing.
Bro, are you trying to take people off the trail because Cadus is exposing you? You picked Time Walker in your bracket prediction.
Oh no! One way or the other, I lose, huh? I think I chose Time Walker because I was like, I want Time Walker to win. But in reality, I know Pika Pals has probably the actual advantage. See?
Yeah, so Pika Pal's on Apocalypse again, and the thing about Apocalypse is that he does a ton of damage. He doesn't take too many hits.
Oh, jeez. Oh, he destroys you.
But just the collision. Yeah, exactly. Like, even if you have full health, he destroys you in 4 or 5 hits.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and say every once in a while, I like for the whole bracket, I decided to have a few upsets in my choices, and I think this was one of the upsets I put in. But I'm pretty sure Pika Pals has the advantage. Blah 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 blah. I bet for both, and either way I win. So take that, nerds. Yeah, exactly.
That's the most long-winded thing you just say you're hedging.
If you bet on both, then no matter what, you win. That's how bets work.
Yeah, so obviously Apocalypse doesn't work for Arcade because he's like this omnipotent, like, first mutant being. But Arcade just makes all these contraptions and stuff. He makes a lot of elaborate death traps. And his gimmick is that, like, he's never around and he, like, always, like, you know, gets away before the heroes can get to him. Because he's usually not present for his death traps and he's usually in some remote layer.
Okay. I like this music, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, not a whole
I mean, here's the thing.
Like, it's okay.
If you listen to the Super Nintendo version, the soundtrack's great, because it's Tim Follin.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, they just electro-farted it up in this version.
It's very farty, and I'm okay with that. I mean, they had a group called Sound Images do the music, and I don't know what that is.
I don't know either.
I don't know. So, as it turns out, looking up something called Sound Images is really hard on Google.
Yeah, something that generic. Maybe you can try Sound Images
Genesis
developer or
go.
Genesis,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they apparently Software Creations use them a lot, so that's not a huge surprise that they're here then. And this was programmed by Tony Williams on the Z80 specifically. Sound Images is the name of a sound driver for the Sega Mega Drive. I presume they hired this guy to do conversions from games over to the Mega Drive and Genesis, although it seems like... Why does it keep referring to Sound Images, this program, as he? I'm very confused. Apparently it also got used in pirated games, so that's cool.
Well, Codeman 38 is saying Sound Images is basically a guy named Tony Williams, so maybe that's why.
What if he legally changed his name to Sound Images? Hey, Mr. Images. You can just call me Sound. But yeah, he did music for other games like Double Dragon 3, The Rosetta Stone, Blaster Master 2, one of your favorite soundtracks out there.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Some Beauty and the Beast games, Shadow of the Beast, SS Lucifer, Man Overboard. What the crap is that? I don't know.
Sounds like
There's a game called
Navy
SS Lucifer. Oh, that is horrifying just to look at that. Ugh. Oh, apparently the non-Sega versions of the game are called Sink or Swim.
Oh, that game. That's a Titus game, so I'm sure it's great.
No. And Codemasters worked on it too. Oh no.
Yeah, so basically he's worked on all the Kuso classics.
Yeah, this guy, he's my man. Okay, I'd stan him.
That was possibly the most awkward use of the term stan I've ever heard.
So awkward, Mike. Oh, come on, you gotta keep up with the times, Mike. That's... Actually, I think that's already done. Nobody says stan anymore. Gotta keep up with 5 years ago, Mike. Come on.
But yeah, so one thing that's kind of tripping up Time Walker is that he just has the claws out all the time, and he has not tried sheathing his claws, because, you know, Wolverine, why would you sheath your claws? But because of that, he's not gaining any health from the Jack-in-the-Boxes, so he's actually having a really hard time reaching Apocalypse in the first place.
Yeah, does the manual tell you if you sheath your claws, you do get health back?
I don't think so. It tells you how to sheath your claws, but that's about it.
Okay, let me go and see. Let's see.
Yeah.
Cyclops Storm.
Whoa, there's a slapstick supervillain, Obnoxia.
What? I didn't even know that was a super... Did they just make that up for this game? I'm gonna look up Obnoxia right now.
Oh, it actually says slashing through enemies and walls will be no problem, but if energy starts running low, tap into your mutant regenerative healing powers by retracting your claws. Bam. First paragraph for Wolverine specifically states that. I guess first paragraph / first sentence, because the whole paragraph is a sentence. Well, okay, it's 2 sentences, whatever. It doesn't count.
Okay, well, apparently, Obnoxia is on the Urban Dictionary as in the state of being obnoxious or the art of being obnoxious, but it's Urban Dictionary.
Wait, what means that? What?
Oh, apparently it's Obnoxio the clown.
Ah!
And he's a very minor hero or villain because he appeared in the What If comics in the 1980s.
What if we had a clown be a villain, because nobody's done that? Well, as it turns out, they quickly realized that everybody had done that. And so he was only in a couple of those. Obnoxio. That's like a spell to make somebody annoying.
One of those Harry Potter spells.
Obnoxio! Yeah. And then suddenly they really like talking about the very specifics of all of the hardware that they installed in their computer. Yeah, thank you, Obnoxio. Yeah, did you get the NVIDIA 3070 or 3080? Because let me tell you, it's... I'm not a fan. Apparently the person who created this specific villain was Larry Hama. Which is cool. He edited for Wonder Woman, Super Friends, Warlord.
He's written a lot of comics for both DC and Marvel. I think he actually wrote a lot of G.I. Joe comics back in the day.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Well, Pika Pal's fighting this guy.
Yep. Apocalypse.
Like, I feel like Apocalypse, and then being like maybe 7 feet tall at most, that feels like it's wrong. If you're Apocalypse, you should probably be the size of the entire planet, at least.
All right, so Pika Pals has used the save state, and Apocalypse is just giving him a ton of trouble. Not that shocking. He does a ton of damage, and he has stretchy arms. But yeah, you just have to hit him while he's in the air. I'm not even sure if ground hits count against him. Fortunately, he doesn't take that many hits, but he just does so much damage, it's still a problem.
Oh yeah, the thing is, Wolverine's a short little guy.
He's like
Apocalypse
5'2",
is
5'3".
apparently usually around 7 feet tall, so he would still probably be like double the height of Wolverine. What a nerd. Okay, maybe not quite double, but you know, significantly taller.
Yeah.
So, what are Apocalypse's abilities? I know he can jump. Like, that's a really good ability that he's got in this game.
He's one of those like super powered villains, so he's like super strong. He's nearly invulnerable. He's effectively immortal. You know, those generic, very overpowered villain, powers.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Superhuman stamina. Oh. Invulnerability. He's got strength. He can fly. He can teleport. Biomolecular alteration. What does that mean? Apparently he can change into a malleable form. He can change his size. He can give himself any physical superhuman power. Okay, so he's the jack of all trades here. He can just do whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I do like the whole superhuman stamina. Yeah, that's what you need in a man. By the way, Studio, I am not dissing on short people. Short people are adorable. Okay?
No, Studio wants to do that.
Why? Why? It's not bad! And also, I've never really thought of Studio as being short. He's human-sized. Studio is human-sized.
Yes, he is human-sized. I have met Studio before. He is indeed human-sized. He is not a burger, nor is he honking.
He honks a little bit. Let's be real.
Okay, he honks a little bit.
Okay, Peekabell's on to Hoppin' Apocalypse. What a good guy. Okay, and this strat of just sort of waiting for him to jump and then jumping past him and swiping might be the best way to do it. Yeah.
Yep, no, this is good. He probably has about 3 or 4 more hits.
Come on, Apocalypse! Apocalypse now! What if Apocalypse is using healing abilities because apparently he can do anything? Oh, he exploded.
Yeah, he exploded. He's done.
Get out of here!
And so Spider-Man is the next stage. This one doesn't have anything you need to collect. You just need to make it through the stage. Okay. There's a couple of areas where it's not terribly intuitive how to make progress, but other than that, I don't think the stage is terribly difficult. And there is a pretty generous amount of healing in this stage.
Time Walker luckily has found a fairly reliable strat of getting an extra life in this stage, so I don't know if it's like Time Walker still really isn't healing at all.
Yeah, that's the problem, because if you don't sheathe your claws, there's only one hard stage, if I remember correctly. So it's going to be really hard for him to beat. He has made it to Apocalypse, but yeah.
I mean, you can heal if you just put your claws away, right? And just sit there?
Well, technically, I think, but it takes forever. The main point of sheathing your claws is to defeat the Jack-in-the-Boxes so you can get hearts from them.
Yeah. At the same time, there's no timer in the stage, so slow and steady is definitely better than dying a million times. But yeah, time. That's the thing. You give out a manual, and the best thing for players to do is to look through at least what they expect to be seeing in the game. You know, the first couple sections that are going to be highly relevant, you want to make sure that you check those out and that you understand some of the basic mechanics. If time is not a factor in a level, then health is going to be your most precious resource, almost in every case. And so making sure you know, 1, how to get health, and 2, how to conserve health. Those are important things to know.
All right. Cadis, Spider-Man does not have limited webbing. And since I don't think they're going to make it to the stage, I'm just going to spoil it. But Gambit has a limited amount of cards. And if you run out of cards, you are just completely out of ammo.
Are you serious? Oh, baby.
I love it. So bad. And the reason, and yes, Xerxes, I'm just having them do stage 1 of each stage because we want them to be able to play a variety of characters rather than just be really stuck trying to figure out what the heck is going on in the Juggernaut level of Wolverine.
I love it. Honestly, it's a huge. There's a lot to be thinking about when you're jumping into a game like this because, you know, every character seems to have fairly different ways of getting through the level, of attacking, I mean, considering that there's a whole ammo system with one of the characters who we haven't even seen yet, you know. I'm glad that they were able to put in this amount of variety for the characters here. Not that it was necessarily a good amount of variety, but they did it. So kudos to the devs, I guess.
No, I don't expect them to reach stage 2 with any character because I'm having them cycle through all the characters, and I picked the stages in order from easiest to hardest, in my opinion. So,
yeah,
and they already struggled a lot with Wolverine, so there you go.
Yeah, exactly. So Polk had asked if we expect them to get to stage 2 for any of the characters. Simply put, they're going to get walled. At the very least on one of these characters. I don't know if Gambit will be the wall or if the one after Gambit.
I think at the rate the players are going, they might make it to Storm, but I don't think they're going to complete it.
Okay.
And Storm will definitely be a wall because Storm might technically be the easiest stage, but it has a lot of really dumb gimmicks that can kill you. And I don't want to spoil it because it is really stupid. And it just kind of has to be seen to be believed.
Yeah, the thing that, like, I'm watching Time Walker here, and Time Walker is definitely doing the let's go slow in order to try to make some progress here. But, you know, at some point you have to think, am I missing something? Because I keep not being able to get through this area. Like, so far, Time Walker has found no way to heal playing this game. And
exactly.
you just have to think, you know, is that actually how a licensed game would be? Remember, you know, even though licensed games have problems, they certainly do. They still have to reach a standard of this is a completable game.
Yeah. So this is what makes the Spider-Man stages so annoying, or the Spider-Man stage so annoying, is that there's a lot of tight little crevices you have to get into by using your webbing to get into them. And you have to position it in a really precise spot, and it's just not intuitive at all.
Yeah.
As you can see, Pika-Pal's struggling over and over. And, like, I had the same struggle, too. Like, this is not Pika-Pal's fault at all. It is just crappy licensed game fault. Yeah, so one thing about the walls in this stage is that if it's a girder, then you can use it as a wall. If it's that white yellow stuff, you can't climb on it. And I don't know why, but that's just how the gimmick works.
Okay, I think Time Walker may be able to get to the boss fairly soon, but he's just gonna die on the first hit.
Yeah, that's the problem.
This is very unfortunate. Oh, what?
Yeah. He made it through the crevice.
Aw, yeah, crevices, always difficult to maneuver through.
But yeah, that's the main problem with this stage. It's not that hard, it's just very labyrinthine, and yeah, just lots of weird stuff you have to do to make progress.
Yeah, if you can eventually do it, then whatever, labyrinths are more boring than anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, if you're going to put mazes in your game, give some sort of reason, you know, if somebody just chooses the quote-unquote wrong path, give them a prize at the end.
Well, there's some points here and there. It's not really a prize.
That's not a prize. That's like you open up a present and guess what?
Wow.
It's one sock. It's a solitary sock.
It's one sock.
It's useless.
Well, don't tell McCaw that, because McCaw is all about points. So.
Oh, I thought he was all about socks.
Well, maybe he is with your analogy.
He's probably like, yeah. Everyone who visits me, I make them pay me one sock. And then he just has a sock from everybody he knows. Justin, no. Anyway, I'm just saying, it's possible. I don't know Macaw that well, but it is very possible that he just has a sock collection there that, you know, because he likes points.
Yep. Okay. So this is the final section before the boss. Yeah, it is. Yeah, so this is the boss.
Too late, Justin. You just won't be able to figure it out. It's too late.
So, for whatever reason, this boss is really easy because all the red diamonds it drops restore your health.
Okay, yeah. What are those collectibles? Are they like gems?
Okay, good news. Time Walker has figured out about sheeping your claws.
Oh,
he's good.
Probably very
miserable.
angry.
Yeah, he can't be happy about that, and I completely understand that because that does not feel good to find out about it this late.
Yeah, and honestly, it's late enough that Time Walker is going to have a struggle catching up to Pika Pals. Like, even clearing the Spider-Man stage is in doubt for me. You know, I don't know if Time Walker will be able to catch up to where Pika Pals is now.
Okay, so Storm. So to deal with the fact that, like, Storm can fly and stuff, they put her in a water stage, and the water rises when you hit certain devices, and the water is both your health and how much air you have. So you can restore water. I mean, you can restore health as long as you're at the top of the water line.
Okay, so this is Mario
bubbles.
64 health.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But it is really easy to lose all your health just by getting beat up over and over again like that. So you have to take this stage super slowly. And it's just so dumb because I'm just curious about like what happened to make this level. It's like, oh no, Storm can fly. How do we get around this problem? Let's make a water level. She does have where she shoots lightning bolts in it. That makes perfect sense. And it's like, you know, she does have control over the weather. Shut up.
It kind of would be fun to have a Storm level where she flies, you know? Maybe instead of taking away her advantage, give her an advantage.
Oh no. Oh, Pika Pals, can you get air? Can you get air? Oh, he got air.
Did he?
Barely.
Oh, yeah, that was great. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the streams. I feel like they have fallen a little bit behind on my end, but that is fine.
Yeah, that's all good. You can also collect the air bubbles from the clams. What you really want to do is take this level very slowly. Because if you're kind of rushing it like Pika Pals, you're just going to be stuck with little health, and there is not much invulnerability when you get hit.
Peachy-chan coming in and saying, I do not appreciate this clown background. Yeah, this is what the world looks like to an X-Men. Giant teeth just jumping in the air and flailing, you know?
Yep.
I'm so glad I'm not one of these mutants.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Liz is correct. This level is a nightmare, but I don't think it's as bad as the Gambit and Cyclops levels. Like, if I had people start in the Gambit levels, we'd probably see at least half an hour of players dying within, like, the first 30 seconds of that level. It's that bad.
That's great. Okay,
because the Gambit level, since we're likely not going to make it there, is a giant ball is chasing you, and you have to constantly outrun it. And unless if you know that like you can actually fire cards at it to freeze it, and certain items will destroy it. Oh, nice! Time Walker has beat Apocalypse. He can actually, if he gets through the Spider-Man level quickly enough, he actually has a chance to catch up. It's gonna be hard.
It's a slim chance, but there is a chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good job. Yeah, as soon as Time Walker learned how to heal, bam, he got through it. That was the biggest thing holding him back. Oh my gosh, this music is so farty.
It is so farty.
I'm not sure if I love how farty it is or if I hate it. Like, it's one of those two.
Yeah. And while Cyclops stage, well, there's a reason why no one was able to beat that Gauntlet stage. Tons of one-hit death gimmicks, because it's platforming and a minecart level.
I'm trying to remember if I remember it.
Well, if you try and remember that you remember it, you probably don't remember.
I don't think I remember it. Which is good, you know? It means that one day I'll be able to see it again and laugh just like I did the first time. See, having spotty memory is actually really helpful when it comes to this. Like, there are plenty of things that I will just straight up forget if I've seen or played or something. And then I get to experience the joys all over again. Also, why can't Storm, like... She swims way too much like Barbie in NES Barbie, okay? Because NES Barbie is a mermaid, and even if you move up and down, you stay horizontal, and Storm does that here too.
Isn't Barbie also Software Creations?
Oh no. Is it?
I think so, isn't it?
Let me go and look.
I mean, that would actually make perfect sense if they just reused the Barbie.
I was pretty sure it was high-tech expressions.
Okay, so there is a bit of bad news on Pika-Pal's end, and that is, I think he missed one of the valves he needs to hit, but he's actually pretty close to the end of the level. This is actually not a long level. It's just really stupid.
Yep, this is not by the Barbie devs, so we're free from that. This dev, though, did make Treasure Master in the New Zealand story for NES, so that's cool. And Silver Surfer. Oh. I mean, maybe she's like Silver Surfer, you know? Gotta... But she is the surfboard. Doesn't need a surfer if your surfboard can do all the fighting, you know? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say that, whatever, this music is pretty much perfect. Never mind, I can't say that seriously.
Alright, so I will say this, Pika-Pal's made very good progress through Storm Stage. But unfortunately, there's no checkpoint, so he has to start all the way at the beginning.
Yeah! Welcome to this game. It's a little overly cruel, but at the same time, I presume that the developers made it a little bit cruel because if they didn't, people would beat this really quickly.
Yeah, that's true. The speed run is something like 15 minutes, 16 minutes. It's less than 20 minutes. It's not a long.
Yeah, I mean.
In fact, this is a game that PJ used to run.
Really? I could see him running this, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, PJ, not really a Kuso person, but he's definitely played some games that are Kuso-worthy. And, you know, this...
He started the games that he plays giveaway that I got involved with, you know?
That is true.
He was my gateway.
That is true. And, but he is, for the games that he plays, he really enjoys running, and I think he really enjoys running this one. I'm not sure why, but... He does, and it is a very difficult game, so it's definitely an impressive speedrun.
Yeah, well, honestly, I think that's the best approach to bad games, you know? Bad games, just because it's bad doesn't mean that it's unfun, and a lot of the times, bad games are less necessarily objectively bad and more just most people are not going to enjoy it, but some people will find something that they love about it. And, you know, it's not just good or bad. You know, if you're gonna speedrun something, you should probably at least enjoy it. Not like Athena. Freaking Athena. Not like Kid Cool.
All the Brosentia hits.
Oh my gosh. I don't
So
know. Maybe
when,
one day I'll be Kid Cool. No, shut up.
You knew what I was about to say.
Yes,
from
I
the first word.
No, I'm doing Action 52 right now, okay? I'm beating all of the Action 52 games because I'm stupid. And then we'll move on to something else. Let me tell you, Mike, some of the Action 52 games are legit extremely difficult, but not in ways that most games are.
I mean, it seems like 52 barely functioning games, so yeah, I can see that.
Like, some of them, they take, what, half a minute to beat, and then some of them, like Silver Sword, I have played it for 10 hours and haven't beaten it.
And aren't the games mostly like 1 or 2 stages?
That one's only 3 stages. And I haven't beaten it over 10 freaking hours. Oh my gosh, it's the bane of my existence, let me tell you. Yeah, by the way...
You have many games to your existence, though.
Yeah.
Between Athena, Kid Cool, Silver Sword, it's like... I don't know if you'll be able to play games anymore without, you know, coming up with a bad or traumatic memory.
Honestly, I think even good games I come up with a bad or traumatic memory, so it's not really something exclusive to the bad games. Anything, everything. Oh, but yeah, maybe I will eventually beat them all in the same way that I will eventually beat Kid Cool in under 30 minutes. It'll happen! Maybe. Maybe. By the way, yeah, I do have some work to get the next match ready, so if I seem like I'm spacing out, that is why, Mike.
It's all good.
Yeah. I'm so excited, though. Like, Mike, the awful block at GDQ is going to be amazing, and I love that Wolf is like, you didn't put me in the awful block. I submitted for the awful block, and I made it, but not in the awful block.
I mean, Snolf just has that big Sonic energy. What can I say?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Pika Pals has a bit of a conundrum here. He can regain health here, but he has to do it a little bit at a time, and he's not going to bother, and he's going to run out of air.
But no, seriously, it's going to be a lot of fun, everybody. I know, like, I'm really excited about Bart's House of Weirdness. I didn't even know Faizu submitted that, and it's going to be a blast. I love that game. Darkman, I think, is the most impressive run that made it in there.
Yeah, I think I played it for Gauntlet State a bit to test it out, and controlling that game is a challenge in itself.
It is so freaking hard. And, like, you know, Neitzel playing Darkman, it's like, okay, I'm seeing all of these jumps that you have to do basically perfect, and Neitzel just nails it. It's unbelievable how well Neitzel plays that game. It's not a playable game. I'd say that, you know, maybe it's easier than Kid Cool, but not by a whole lot. But that's because Kid Cool is like the biggest freaking pain in the butt. I hate it.
Yeah, Dino is another retro streamer who is similar to Macaw in that he pretty much likes almost everything that he plays. I would say he likes even more than Macaw, because Macaw has definitely called some games bad. I don't think I've ever seen Dino call a game bad.
I love it.
But you know, that's part of the Dino charm.
Like, I feel like, is Dino being genuine? Does he really not think any games are actually bad? Or is he just like, that's my thing, I say it's not bad because it's funny?
He's pretty genuine. He seems to really enjoy most of the games that he plays, so.
Okay.
And he does play a lot of, like, actually good games, too, so.
Gotcha. I think that,
Like,
I still think you can enjoy a game and be like, yeah, this is genuinely bad.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I love Super Hide, but it's definitely not a good game.
Oh my gosh, I love Super Highlight. I agree that it's not a good game, but at the same time, it was so ambitious for the time.
Yes, exactly. That's one of the things I love about it, is that it's just so absurdly ambitious. Especially for coming out of the 1980s.
Yeah. But it's okay to like things that other people don't like. Well, here we go. We're into the final few minutes. We are ending at the hour, and at this point, Pika Pals is probably going to take the victory. I don't see Time Walker passing Pika Pals.
There's not enough time, honestly. In fact, Pika Pals has a chance to beat this level. He's near the boss. And there is actually an exploit you can do against the boss to just reliably deal with the boss. Oh no, Pika Pals, don't go in too fast.
Okay, I think Pika Pals, getting the health filled up, that is a very, very smart idea there. You do not want to go in there without full health.
What you can do against this boss is that you can just stay in the top and then just hit it repeatedly, and you'll just eventually kill it. And Pika Pals figured that out right away. So, yeah, he's going to beat the stage.
Well, sweet.
So we're going to be able to see Gambit stage. Oh no, Pika Pals, don't go down. Just stay up there. You are hitting the boss, even though the game doesn't really do a good job of indicating that you're hitting anything. And there you go. All he has to do is go to the right now.
Or down. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
There we go. Pika Pals. We're going to see the next stage, Mike. This is
okay,
cool.
So don't be shocked if Pika Pals loses all of his lives in about 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
You'll see why. I'm actually a little shocked he made it this far, so he's definitely exceeded my expectations. I was expecting players to make it to Storm or Gambit, but Gambit seems unlikely.
I'm glad that I bet on the winner. I also bet on the loser. That's what happens, Mike. You gotta hedge your bets, and if you bet on everybody, then you'll always win. Okay, yeah, Pika Pals taking a death really quickly. You are completely right. There are going to be a million deaths here. This is not the best.
There's a reason why I saved this stage for one of the later ones. It's just, yeah. Like, I wanted players to make some progress, and if I chose this or Cyclops as the first stage, there would be a good chance that neither player would make any progress through the stage.
Oh, yeah.
So one thing that he probably doesn't know, because you kind of have to look at the power-ups in detail, and it's not, is that the blue orb is something you want to collect because it does make the ball roll backwards.
Apparently stage 2 for Gambit is even worse than this.
I haven't tried the second stages for any of the characters, but overall, the second stages are way worse than the first stages.
Uh-oh.
Like, Wolverine's second stage, like, I don't even know how it works. Because, so what happens is that Juggernaut's running at you, like, very slowly, and you're supposed to drop a bunch of weights to, like, slip him up, and then you're supposed to, like, hit him enough with your claws to pop his helmet. And then once you do that, you're done with the stage. But, like, the mechanics just don't make any sense.
Yeah.
They're incredibly opaque. Like, to be fair, I have not beaten this game. I played it enough to make sure that I would know how to track progress for now. Because, to be honest, if I wanted to beat this game, even with save states, it would take me well over an hour.
So, per chat, apparently on the second stage for Gambit, you just have to randomly choose a path, and there's no indication whether it'll be right or wrong. So, in ways, that makes this worse than Virtual Bart, because the slide level, there are visual cues that you absolutely can't see
in time.
They're very, very difficult. Like, pause buffering is one of the only ways to get through it. But
oh, yeah. Like, some people think that's cheap, and like, for some games, I can see that. For Virtual Bart, you need to eke out every advantage you have in that game, because you are at a severe disadvantage by playing Virtual Bart.
I know, right? It's just, by virtue of the game existing, you are already losing. And there goes Pika Pals, another life. We're close to the rest.
I mean, technically he game overed, but he can't really make any meaningful progress, so it's not really a big deal.
Yeah, and Time Walker is not catching up in the next minute and 45 seconds. Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
I just still love how they dealt with Storm's weather powers by just dunking her in a giant swimming tank when she has created typhoons and the like before.
I mean, come on. Maybe this is before she created the typhoons, you know? She's just like, hey, I can make water go the opposite direction when it flushes down the toilet. Woo!
Yeah, exactly, Kate.
Oh, her hit sound effect is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh. And the bubbles? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say this stage has the worst sound effects I've heard so far.
That's saying a lot, because this game has some bad sound effects.
Yeah, this is pretty bad. It's hilarious, though.
Like I said, so if I didn't get picked for this round, I would have used the SNES version of this game for that, like, this game looks and sounds good, but is terrible, because the SNES version does actually have genuinely good music. But, nope, we get to see it in all of its glory right now.
Oh, well, here we go. This is time. I want to hear one more death sound effect, though, if we can. There's time, everybody. You gonna go die, Storm? Nope. You're just pausing. Fine, whatever. I don't want to listen to it anyway. Time!
Tim!
Tim, yeah, indeed. Well, it is pretty clear who took the victory. Pika Pals. Yeah. Time Walker put a lot of effort into it, but unfortunately was not able to get caught up. And it's all because of that Wolverine stage. If he figured out how to heal, he would have had a chance. Okay.
I feel like he was actually doing a really good job of catching up, but he was just too far behind.
Yeah, I'm inviting them to come chat with us if they would like. Honestly, this game has a lot of problems, and I can see why it is not a fan favorite, or a fan I kind of like it.
Or it has fans.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best X-Men game out there in the world. Hello, Time Walker, welcome.
Hi.
Hey, great job. Oh, there's Pika Pals. Okay, Pika Pals, hello.
Hey.
Hey, so let me go ahead and tell you both that Pika Pals is the winner today. Pika Pals managing to make it to the first Gambit stage, which honestly was super impressive.
It is super impressive because honestly, that's kind of what I expected out of Gambit stage. You just die instantly, which is...
It seems like a stage where you just die instantly.
Yep, it is a stage where you die instantly, a lot. And I wanted both of you to make some progress, so that is why I saved Gambit for later.
Oh. Probably for the best.
Yeah.
No, instead you just put the hardest boss in the world at first.
What, jump man?
True.
He just jumps.
He just jumps. Exactly.
He
He just
jumps
hit him
and
while
then-
he's in the air.
Yeah, and then he just punches you, and the punch
Yeah.
stays for a year after it stops showing up.
I mean, okay. He jumps and he punches.
All right. So just so you two know, Pika Pals made it to the beginning of Gambit stage. Time Walker made it to the beginning of Storm stage. Unfortunately for you, Time Walker, it took you a long time to figure out how Wolverine's claws worked and that you sheathed them to get healing,
Yeah.
which makes no sense in comic lore, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah,
It makes no sense, period, but
Not really.
that's how it works.
yeah, that was my mistake that I didn't try it
Yeah.
out because I first punched like one of the enemies like without the sheet and then thought, well, this seems a bit useless, so I gave up trying until I tried this again and noticed that those
Jack in the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was already
It's-
thinking all the time if I was like missing something important.
You did do a good job of catching up because you killed because the Apocalypse took you a lot less attempts than it did Pika Pals, but yeah, unfortunately you weren't quite able to catch up.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
fine, you know? Some games work for some people and some games don't
Yeah.
work for others. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely got kind of lucky because my second attempt on the Wolverine stage, I just forgot to unsheath my claws again and saw, oh, hey, this guy just dropped health. I should try that some more.
Yes.
That is pretty funny.
It
But
worked out somehow.
hey, it did. So what are your overall thoughts about the game as a game? Pika Pals, is this a decent game? Is this something that you don't want to touch again? Like, what's your reaction to it? Pika Pals reacts to this game.
I mostly had fun with it. The
Okay.
Spider-Man stages were annoying to get some places, but if you treated it kind of like a puzzle game where you were just trying to figure out, oh, where do I web sling now? It made it somewhat more interesting.
Okay, that's fair. Time Walker.
I felt miserable. I don't want to play this again.
That's the general consensus when it comes to the game. Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
a pretty
people
miserable
didn't
game.
like this. However,
Having Wolverine probably made that more fun.
yeah, I think so. What I would bet, you know, every bad game has some person who can enjoy it. So, Pika Pals, congrats. For some reason, you're the type of person who can enjoy it a little bit. Well, Time Walker, you are still in the tournament. Even if you're going to the losers bracket, you still have a chance to make it to the end of the tournament. Just got to keep pushing on, not take any other losses, and you can also be the biggest Kuso, I guess.
Nice.
Seriously, though, thank you so much, and thank you, Pika Pals. Mike, I appreciate this game, and I had a lot of fun. I'll see all three of you later. Take care.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you. Good game, Pick Up Pals.
Yep, GG's.
GG's.
Hmm.
All right. Well, everybody, we have one more match coming up today, and after that, I will see how I'm feeling, if Action 52 is going to be a thing. Let's go ahead and run a quick ad, though, and we will be back with our second game of the day. Bat, bat. Bat, bat. Oh, I'm gonna get in trouble one of these days. You know, when there is a very clear song here and you just don't obey, like, actually singing any of it, that's what I'm doing right now.